Okay, this is a little addendum to my previous video where I talked about the fact that most of you out there in America, don't want change. It's the last thing you want. You don't like Bush, but you don't want change because it's scary. Or for whatever reason. Maybe the TV told you it wasn't good. And you might think I'm crazy for saying that, but there's something that happened during this election that was extremely important. Sheehan, a well-known Iraq war activist, ran against Nancy Pelosi, and Nancy Pelosi won in 2006 on the platform of impeaching Bush and ending the war. And immediately, almost the same day she was elected, if not the same day she was elected, she pledged that she would do neither of those things. She said impeachment was off the table. And I'm not sure what she said about Iraq, actually, but I know that she has done everything she could to support that war. She has funded it. She has provided cover for it and cover for Bush when people would try to fight against it, like Dennis Kucinich, when he tried to introduce articles of impeachment against Cheney. She did everything she could to stop it. Now, she was running in San Francisco, the most liberal city in this country, supposedly. And Cindy Sheehan was running against her. And Cindy Sheehan was harassed and intimidated her. Among other things, her campaign headquarters was vandalized and one of her computers was stolen, most likely by somebody connected to the Pelosi campaign. On election day, her workers were constantly harassed at the polls. I mean, this is Nazi Germany type stuff, people, okay? This is Nazi Germany type stuff coming from Pelosi and the establishment. And now, how did people react? Did people vote for Cindy Sheehan, a woman that they know will work hard to end the Iraq War and to impeach Bush, without a doubt? We know she'll do it. How did people react to her? 17% of the people in San Francisco were willing to vote for Cindy Sheehan, one of the greatest political activists of all time, in my opinion. One of the greatest political activists of all of American history. 17% of the liberal people in San Francisco who supposedly opposed the Iraq War and President Bush were willing to actually vote on it. And 70-something% of the people voted for Nancy Pelosi. Nancy Pelosi, a person who openly betrayed her constituents and voted for the bailout bill. It was open betrayal of the American people. If you're paying attention, you know it. If you're not paying attention, okay, maybe I can understand. You don't know what she has been doing to you. But she has openly betrayed us. And Cindy Sheehan represented real change. And people did not want it. They did not want change. They preferred betrayal from someone that is part of the status quo. Because people want the status quo, even in San Francisco. You people in San Francisco, I'm not saying you ought to be ashamed of yourself, but you are not progressive. You're not liberal. Don't even try to tell me that. Don't try to tell me you're against the Iraq War or that you're against Bush. You are as pro-Bush and as pro-Iraq War as anybody in Alabama. Because, at least the people in Alabama are honest about it. They'll tell you. But you people, in my opinion, you got some growing up to do, because you better either become, Republicans, or you better start wearing Bush t-shirts, or you better stop lying to yourselves. I mean, I'm sorry, but you had a choice and you chose. You chose Bush you chose Iraq. 70-something% of you, 76%, 77%, 17% of you chose change. And those people I would applaud. These people know what's going on. 17% of the people in San Francisco, less than the number of people who openly support Bush in this country. After Bush has destroyed our country, destroyed our economy, taken the food off our tables, the rights in the Constitution, revoked them, brought troops to this country against posse comitatus, brought us one tiny step away from dictatorship. More people in this country support him than support Cindy Sheehan. That's all I've got to say. If you still think that people in this country won't change, wake up. Wake up. Look at the polls. Look at the way they voted. I tell you right now, people in this country, I don't have to argue about it. People in this country don't want change, most of them. So, and that's the proof. That is the proof. It's sad, but it's true. If Barack Obama would really advocate real change, you'd reject him. It's not Barack Obama's fault. It's not, I'm not going to criticize Barack Obama for playing politics, because if he didn't play politics, you people in America, you would dismiss him as a lunatic and a moron, and you'd move on. You would have elected Hillary Clinton or John McCain or somebody else if Barack Obama had really talked about real change. So he gave you the change you wanted, the word change. That's what you want. And he gave it to you. So if you're going to, blame anybody for things staying the way they are, blame yourself. And if you don't want them to stay the way they are, like I said before, change is not going to come from the politicians. Certainly not after you have rejected the ones who advocated change. It'll certainly never come now. So if you want change, you better work for it. You better force the government to change. Force the government to get us out of these wars, if that's what you want. Thanks for watching.